Hi everyone. Good evening to you. Good evening to all my friends who is watching now. It's a Sunday evening. I do know you'll be busy with your family, but heading towards it's 10:30 Singapore time, and soon will be bedtime for us. And tomorrow is Monday morning, and we have to get back to work as usual. Well, life has been busy for me too, and I believe a lot of people out there they are busy. Now, today's video, I have invited Deepti ji to come and join us. Okay, let me see. I did see Mitra's comment a while ago, but I can't see it. Hi, Mitra. You did send a message earlier, so I would like to thank you for your message. Now, today's video, Deepti ji is going to actually join us, and she also going to share with us towards on the earlier part we're going to do some discussion. We're going to speak about she have been going through some kind of harassment. We're actually going to go through those what she have been going through. She have been targeted recently, so we have some details about that. We'll discuss about that with her, and we also be touching on recently what's happening in Mumbai, as you know, regarding Aryan Khan. He's been released, and he been cleared from the case, and Samir Wankide. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And also, Sushant's family have been, died in an accident. We're all going to discuss all that. Plus, there's some, heart-touching slides Deepti going to share with us. And these slides may have been read before, but I think it's good to go through or, discuss these slides again because we need to know what really happened to Sushant so that we will voice out for him more. Now, without further ado, let's invite Deepti, one and only Deepti ma'am.
Namaste, Bachant ji. How are you?
I'm
After a
fine.
long time.
Yeah, after a long time. We have been busy also. Namaste to you, Ji.
Busy, yeah, I mean, a lot. Don't ask me, a lot of harassment is going on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you on that. You have been targeted recently. Can you share with me what have happened to you and your team?
Well, we have been facing this. We have been facing this since we took up Sridevi ji's case in 2018. Okay. Uh, Now, see, if I talk about all the experiences that we have gone through since 2018, when we were trying to bring the truth about Sridevi ji's case out and we wanted to get justice for her, what all experiences we went to, we lost. I have some very good contacts in the Indian Defense Intelligence and all that. So the path was easier for me to investigate into the death as compared to other common people. But despite securing all the proofs, even getting hold of eyewitnesses who actually showed it without any doubt that Srideviji's death was not due to accidental drowning in bathtub as the media and everyone wanted us to believe, as it was declared by the Dubai Health Authority initially. We got hold of the original documents and everything and all. And I was like, wow, we have cracked it. And now when we go to India and approach the media houses and the authorities, they will be like, wow, they will be after me and there will be a lot of. But strangely, there was silence everywhere. Like you see, there is silence in Sushant's case now. There was silence regarding Srideviji's death and the real reason about it as well. It's as if everyone knew, but they didn't want to acknowledge. Okay. So recently, there have been increased attempts to steal the drives. Okay. I should not be saying things which I cannot prove because, again, then they will try to prove me schizophrenic or someone who has delusions like Parveen Bhabi. If I'm stating something in public, then I should be sure that I can only tell those facts which I can prove if they challenge me. Otherwise, lots and lots is happening behind the scenes. One of my team members went missing. He was picked up by certain agency in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. And since then, I have lost touch with him, and we have lost touch with him. Okay, you might be aware about Dhruva.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he is missing as of now. I don't know whether he went off on his own accord, but last I got to hear was that I was about to reach him, but then he was picked up by some police or someone, and then he went missing. And also, one of my team members was poisoned who was handling the drives. Okay. Thankfully, we have been able to secure the drives, but yes, the threats are increasing and harassment is increasing. The harassment was always there because of Srideviji's case. Financially, I have been harassed a lot. Okay. My business clients have been harassed a lot for doing business with me. So, of course, so recently, there this pressure and this threat and their attempts to stifle this truth has increased. Bachanji, your voice, I'm not able to hear your voice.
That's scary and is worrying, Deepti ji, what you are sharing now.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
see, because if celebrities like Devi and Parveen Bhabi and Sushant, if they couldn't bring out the truth, someone who have a face, who have a name, if
Yeah.
their voice didn't reach out to the people, they wanted to tell the people the truth about the anti-national activities happening in Mumbai and who all were associated with those activities. Right.
Correct. Correct.
So, I mean, if their voice could die down, I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise if we are being hunted and hounded now.
Yes,
There have
Deepti
been
ji.
attempts. See, now I'm afraid to travel anywhere because there are attempts. I cannot prove there are attempts to tamper with my luggage, baggage, maybe plant something and for book me in false cases. But one thing I would like you people to remember and your viewers to remember, Bachanji, is that since 1 year, I have been sharing the documents, some Supreme Court documents, some International Court of Justice documents, Sri Deviji's original, death record and document for records, and a lot of things I have been sharing, and I have been sharing Sushant's drive since past few months. Okay, I have been tagging all the authorities as well. Okay, though initially there was attack in the form of Twitter trolls with the resignations of lawyers and forensic experts. Okay, since what I had with me was truth and pure truth, no action could be taken on me. Okay, but
Okay.
if after 1 year something happens to me, if I am booked in a false case or something, then you people should understand
Hmm.
and demand for if they are letting if something like this happens, if anything happens to me, though I have made sure that what all other truths I have, what all other proofs I have, they surface in the social media if anything happens to me. But I also want you people to keep up the pressure, ask about me and ask them. Do not just listen to what they say, whatever is given out, but ask them to present me in front of you and have a live, whatever interrogation or live case they want to have against me. If I am talking like this because I think whatever happened the past few days, they can go to any extent. But
We
if
will,
it,
Deepti ji. We
yeah,
will.
but if it happens, I don't want you people to be fooled this time. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope nothing like that will happen. But if at all it happens, don't worry, we will voice out for you. If I mean, I'm always in touch with you. If suddenly if I can't get in touch with you, that will be worrying. I'm definitely going to go on YouTube and voice out, looking out for you. What happened to DPG? But what you're sharing, it is something that will annoy and upset those people out there who are involved in Sushant case. So I'm very sure they will definitely be targeting you and harassing you. But let's pray nothing happens to you, DPG, and hope nothing happens in
Yes,
True. Hope he comes
prayers.
back.
Yeah, Bachchanji, prayers. I do believe in the power of prayers, sincere prayers. If someone wants to do something and they are helpless, okay, like I am aware of so many viewers and so many people who want justice and whose blood boils at all the atrocities that is happening in the name of democracy in our country. Uh, I understand that the nexus and the cabal is so powerful, so strong. They have their hands in, they have their hands everywhere. Okay, if you have been reading Sushant's drives, you will that I have been sharing. So you will understand the kind of names that he unmasked, he exposed. as having indulging in anti-national activities and criminal activities just for money, profits, and more money. So this nexus has its hands in every sphere, from governance to banking
Yeah.
to health industry to education industry to your medical industry, everywhere in telecommunications. Okay, the IT, everywhere, all the, and they have taken over the communications. The mainstream media is controlled by them. Okay, so this nexus is very powerful, and they can go to any extent. But I would like people to use some common sense here and see things as they are, and not get fooled by what they are trying to show you. If you have some questions, ask them, and do not accept anything if all your questions are not answered.
No, when you mentioned about Nexus, something that comes to my mind now is like recently, Shah Rukh Khan's relative have been, died in accident. I think about six of them.
I'm sorry,
With
Sushant, I think you're talking about
sorry,
Sushant.
who did I actually just mention?
Shah Rukh Khan.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Wrong name. Okay. Sushant's family, recently there was an accident and they died. A truck hit them. When you talk about you being targeted and you being harassed, when this kind of things happen, our minds goes wild thinking, oh gosh, is this another thing? Is it really an accident or is it a murder? They were planned and they were killed. A lot of stuff running in the head. Of course, you do not know whether it
We
was really
don't
an
know.
accident or not.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might. I don't know. Yeah,
Yes,
no
it's
one
just that
knows.
we will have wiped out. Why is this happening?
Yeah,
I'm
such
not
kind of
saying.
doubts
Yeah.
come. Even if it is, really an accident, even then people will start doubting, because it's the case of, the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
When you keep lying, even if a truth comes out, then that truth will be looked at with suspicion. So now the masks of these people have fallen.
Hmm.
The reality, people are becoming aware of what is the real picture actually.
Yeah. The
What is
second point. Go on, go on, go on, go on.
So what is behind what is being shown? What is the truth behind what is being shown? Now people are getting aware,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. When you mentioned about these people are powerful, when they do anything, I mean the higher level people can be politician, can be even people in the Bollywood. The reason is in Aryan Khan case where when Samir Wakande was actually raided the cruise, and he was he did a wonderful job, and he was being targeted, and eventually the delete I mean the group in Delhi, the group in Delhi came over. They said they're taking over the case. I was very happy. I was thinking, hey, this is good. Now they're going to dig out a lot of information. The truth going to come out. But that's it. Bombay High Court,
That's
they
it.
said that that's it. They closed
That's
the
it.
case, and I'm like, oh, and there's
So
of
many
course a lot of
cases. No,
yes,
not so many cases, Bachchanji. No case which has a high-profile name involved ever reaches a logical conclusion in our country. It's not now. It's not happening now. It's happening since years now, since decades. I'm not blaming any one particular government or any one particular party. It's been happening in all the governments since after Lal Bahadur Shastri, except for Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, I would say. But then his death itself is a mystery again.
hmm,
One prime minister we can say who was as clean as pure milk or pure water is Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, and his death is again a mystery. And again, right 13 days after his death of the father of the nuclear science of India, Homi Baba, in a plane crash, that again is raises
hmm,
lots of doubts. So this is
yeah,
not something this what do you say? Um, this circle of what do you say? Mysterious deaths. It's not something that is happening now. It's just the frequency has increased now.
yes,
Okay.
yes, it is, yes. Despite the social medias, who people,
Uh,
people like us was speaking about it, it's
Hello,
still
Mitra ji.
increasing.
Yeah, I just
Yes,
read her comment.
Mitraji.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. um, um, like what you said, yeah, I'm going to repeat what I just said. Despite the social media where people are voicing out, yet this thing is not stopping. It's going on. So for me as a foreigner, when I look at India, there's one question I feel that is Bollywood or the politician above the law in India? That's pretty worrying when I
It's
when I
it's not
yeah.
just the Bollywood or the politicians. It's I will tell about something, my personal experience. I will just tell you. Okay. Um, I had even filed an RTI just to show that because people were targeting me, lawyers were targeting me, calling the documents which I shared on the social media as fake. I mean, I was circulating it, tagging all the authorities. So I'm tagging the International Court of Justice, I'm tagging the Supreme Court of India, I'm tagging the HMO, PMO, the Defense Minister, and I am tagging the Dubai Health Authority. And I'm sharing the documents that I am saying that they belong to these departments. Okay, for 3 4 months they didn't have any problem, and then suddenly there was an attack on me on social media, on Twitter. Advocates attacking me, trolling me on Twitter, calling my documents fake. So I want people to analyze: is forging important documents of sensitive and very high-profile institutions, government institutions like Defense Minister of India? Come on, it's no less. It's not a joke. Okay. Defense Minister's letter I forced. I mean, according to the trolls, if I had forced Defense Minister's letter, if I forced the documents of the Dubai Health Authority, if I forced the documents of the Supreme Court of India, I have been doing this since 1 year now. Is this such small a offense? Is this such small an offense that all I get in return is trolling on Twitter by the likes of advocates, and then trolling on YouTube, making videos out of for me, and I mean, like criticizing me by forensic experts? Come on, there's an investigation that is ongoing. I'm talking about Sushant's drives now. Okay,
Hmm.
and here I am tagging everyone: PMO, HMO,
Yes.
Nupur Prasad, who is in charge of Sushant's case in CPI. Okay, and I'm saying that these are Sushant's drives. And okay, forget all about that. I even submitted an application in CBI, and I got the acknowledgement, which I shared on Twitter as well. Okay, it's been more than 2 to 3 months now. I'm still waiting for that call. Okay,
Oh gosh. Hmm. Hmm.
so I am placing facts as they are. I don't want you to feed you people into what I know. I want you people to know for yourselves what exactly is happening.
Yeah. I mean, that part of it, you actually don't have to even, clarify it, Diptiji. You're putting on Twitter, you're putting out the documents, you're declaring openly, you're tagging it to them. If this information are fake, no one actually will dare do it. Or let's say, even if it is fake, by now the authority would have came after you. You
Exactly,
know?
long back.
Yeah, exactly. So I totally don't. I mean, the general public, I think they're smart enough to know which is fake and which is not. Who are actually trolling you. So you're not
And
to
yes,
worry on that.
Bachchanji, people, I mean, there are some, I mean, everywhere we have negative people, right? There are questions being raised. What happened now? She left Sridevi case and jumped into Sushant's. She left, or has she given up on Sridevi case? Then let me tell you here
Okay.
that any case, for that matter, even in India or in anywhere, it keeps dragging for years and years together. Okay. So Srideviji's case, last the people know, or what I have told is that the case was in International Court of Justice. So a lot of games are being played there as well. So
Mm.
let me tell you that this nexus is not just which is confined within the country. It's
Mm.
an international cabal,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
It's an when see if you just analyze by the kind of names that are getting exposed, we have money laundering, we have hawala, we have terrorists, we have drug trafficking, we have women trafficking, and we have connections with Dubai and foreign countries which are tax havens. So I mean, obviously, this nexus is not something which is just confined to India. It's international. It's there everywhere.
Correct.
And they have the reach. They are very influential people. They are very, very influential people. So when they can get no investigations done on them in spite of the accused taking their name, I'm talking here about, you know, Mukesh Ambani and the Reliance, because no matter, for example, let's take INX Media case. The accused, Peter Mukherjee, he took the name of P. Chidambaran, and P. Chidambaran got arrested on the basis of it. He also took the name of Reliance. Ambani says owning most of the INX Media. But they were never called even for questioning. And when I raised an RTI on this, I just raised the RTI to make people aware, because one of the lawyers had raised an RTI on my defense letter that I have shared. The response which came was that such communication, the defense ministry doesn't have a record of such communication. It never said that my letter which I shared was fake. It just said that because it is an undocumented letter. If you look at that letter, it's an undocumented letter. Okay. So the response which came was the defense ministry or something, it doesn't have record of such communication. Okay. So in order to make people aware how RTI is also being used as a tool, as a convenience tool, and also it is being ignored. When I filed RTI at the same time asking, when the accused, Peter Mukherjee, took the name of Ambani's, when Chidambaran got arrested, what actions were taken on Ambani? Were they even called for questioning? Why were they not even called for? That was the RTI I raised. I have shared all this on my Twitter handle. Okay, I've kept it out in the open. And the response I get is that this cannot be disclosed because of some section. The information cannot be disclosed. Bachchanji, you're mute, I think.
Now, when they say this can't be disclosed, was there any reason given why it shouldn't be disclosed?
No, obviously it's so confidential that they can't even give the reason. They want us to believe that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but Deepti, I have to say something, because Mitra also wrote that. I wanted to mention that also, because before this Sushant's digital drives, we were also, I mean, all the SSRians and those who are actually watching what SSR Sushant, they do not know what really happened, why this happened to him, how it happened to him, or was it really killed? What was it trying to do? What is trying to reveal? Sushant digital drives have given us a lot of eye-opening information. So for that, we have to thank you seriously. Yeah, yeah. People want to say, "Oh, this is not written by him," or "This is written by him," or "It's not being proven." I mean, that is all beside the point. We know, we can think logically which is true and which is not. You see. So based on that, we were able to analyze certain things that have been shared in the digital drive. So for that, we have to thank you. And
And
yes, you are
let me
keeping
tell you,
something. Okay.
let me tell you, Bachchanji, I mean, it's not just you, and it's also those people who are constantly criticizing them. They also know that these are true.
Yeah. If not, they won't be criticizing.
Yes.
Yes, they're worried.
They also know that there are some genuine common people who are confused. If this is true, why are the agencies not accepting it and all? Okay, because obviously we have a different picture about, we had high hopes when the case got transferred to CBI. But then what did CBI do in the case of Jia Khan? Tell me one high profile case which any of our national agency has brought to a logical conclusion. Be it CBI, be it NIA, be it ED, be it whatever.
Very good question.
One single case which involves a high profile person which has reached its logical conclusion. I just want anyone to quote. Be it Economic Officers Wing, be it Enforcement Directorate, be it NCB, be it CBI, be it NIA. Just one. Whenever the connections came out, there was a lot of drama and circus on the mainstream media, and gradually it faded away into nothing. Yeah. Everything, be it Sushant's case, be it Jia Khan's case, be it Divya Bhati's case,
Sri Devi's
be it,
case.
be it Sridevi's case. So,
Yeah, I mean, we all know the agencies are very smart. They know they'll be able to crack the case. They know what have happened. But the question here is why nothing been mentioned about it. They're not even saying at what level the investigation going. By now, you should have finished more than a year. It's like 1.5 years for Sushant's case. Nothing. There's not even a word of being mentioned. What is it? What's happening? Where is it heading to? So, like what you
and
said, high profile cases are not being solved. And in India, I've also seen news where a normal layman, any rape cases, any murder cases, they solve it. They solve it very fast. They bring down they bring out the culprit, and they sentence them even to
no,
death.
no, 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 no. Even in that case, if one of the accused belongs to some high influential family or something, that too keeps dragging.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
That
But
too keeps dragging.
yeah, as
It's
long there's
only
any
where,
involvement, yeah.
yeah, it's only where common people are involved that, again, there's no quick justice even when common people are involved, because then we have cases, we have many under trials still languishing in the prisons. They are waiting for a hearing. They have just been arrested and they are in the jails waiting for the hearing. I mean, it continues for months, sometimes years. I seriously tell you, I'm ashamed to say that the justice system, the judiciary is in shambles in our country. And in a country where law and order cannot be maintained, the doom is not far. It's a it's a
Sometimes,
matter it's a matter of great surprise that our country has withstood. This is not something new, right? This is continuing since
yeah.
decades, since Divya Bhati's death, Gulshan Kumar's death, maybe since Lal Bahadur Shastriji's death, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So we are heading towards doom. We do not have much time, as Sushant kept repeating in his diaries. If we do not act now, then later we will not have an option to act.
Correct. No, I mean, Mitra have brought out few names, Jacqueline Fernandez, Anil Deshmukh, Parambir Singh. All the Anil Deshmukh is an extortion case, and the case is still running.
Just imagine, I mean, extortion case, that too by police personnel, one of the highest ranking officers of police who is supposed to protect us.
Yeah.
I haven't, Bachchanji, I haven't come across this mention in Sushant's drives yet, but I don't know how true it is, but I won't be surprised if it is true. I had heard that Sushant had gone to the police station to complain. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know when it was, but he was beaten black and blue instead of filing
Okay.
a FIR. That's what I had heard. And also in his drives that I have shared, he has mentioned that he met Paramveer Singh. He had spoken to Paramveer Singh, and though Paramveer Singh appeared to be a genuine person, whatever he shared with Paramveer Singh later came out from the mouth of Suraj Pancholi.
Yes.
And he
Correct.
also spoke, I mean, about Trimukhe as well, that this person was a very dangerous person and some sort of, I mean, like, he was very corrupt and was not allowing other police force to work with honesty. He was neither honest nor was he allowing his colleagues to work honestly or something like that. Okay. So if the police officers, I mean, we are not talking about some constable or some SI here, we are talking about commissioner, the ranks of commissioner. If
Correct.
our lawmakers, if our agencies, law enforcement agencies, and if our judiciary itself is full of corrupt people, what sort of, I don't know what to say. Forget about justice, it's not just about justice. What sort of a life are we expecting in such a country?
Correct. Now our safety become, questionable. How safe are we in the country? As much as they say that it's a democratic country, we can voice out, there's a freedom of speech, but when there's freedom of speech, we also been targeted. Yeah, that's a I don't know. In Sushant's case, there's a lot of people involved. I mean, this whole case, we know Siddharth Pitani. I mean, even though he's in prison, I mean, he went on a relief and then he's still applying for bail. And Riya Chakraborty, all his flatmate who was with him. And I realized the whole case, nobody is being arrested. I mean, other than Sita, nobody's arrested. All roaming around freely. Nothing is happening to them. So what
And
the hell is
recently,
happening to Sushant's case?
Ria's bank accounts were also, I mean, they were defrozen. Uh, they were frozen
Oh
for 1 year,
yeah,
and now she's like, oh wow, she's a free bird totally. No, nothing upset. Whereas is Sushant's reason of death has not yet been declared. Like Jia Khan's reason of death has not yet been declared by the CBI, even after like close to 8 years. Sushant's death, even after 1.5 years, has not been declared. The CBI is strangely silent. And now they have let out a news saying that they have approached Google and Facebook, US-based Google and Facebook, to retrieve the personal chats and emails of Sushant to find some clue. How ironic is it? Here there is, I mean,
yeah,
there's one woman who during the time of lockdown has traveled to Mumbai twice, has
yeah.
traveled to Delhi and
Right.
stayed there just, and I have been tracking them on the social media as well. Okay,
Yeah.
they are aware. I'm trying to, I mean, submit the drives. I'm asking them to validate them. Okay, because see, in the drives, it's not just Sushant's diaries. The reason for his death is also mentioned very clearly, Bachchanji, which I'm going to read today. The slides which I'm going to read today, I might have read on your show already. I have read it on other people's show. But
Okay.
I want to read them again today because they directly imply the names of the people who will be responsible for his death if he is killed.
Okay.
What more evidence can CBI want to take these people into custody and interrogate them? He
Yes.
has clearly in his drives. All the CBI has to do is validate the drives. It will take hardly 1 hour or so to find out if these drives belongs to Sushant or not. Yes, let me tell you. There are, as I have been saying, that there are 6 to 7 other copies of the drives out there. I just have one set of copies. There are other copies out there, and Sushant's core team members had those set. They got sold or something, or they are under pressure or something. I cannot say. Okay, so they are sharing the main link with the Nexus people who want to bury this truth. So there have been a lot of virtual and cyber attacks as well when we try to decode the drives. Firstly, it is very difficult to decode them because Sushant has designed the entire interface in such so beautifully. I mean, I don't know what that guy is. He is multi-talented. I mean, a
Yeah.
genius in everything. So he designed the interface in such a way, and as per his drives, he did so after his physical diaries and documents were destroyed. Okay, so he designed this interface in such a way that no one can edit, okay, or destroy these drives.
Okay.
But the main link he shared with 3 other people who are now unfortunately helping the Nexus to tamper the drives. And also we have to take care of,
Mm.
protection against those attacks. We have to counter those attacks as well. So it's taking a lot of time. Okay. And it's not that entire data in the drives is stored as text
Okay.
like I'm sharing them on the. It's not like that. It's something which we are downloading. There are links in that. Okay. All right.
Mm.
So what more can CBI want as a proof, unless and until the will is not there? And just to keep the people who are raising questions silent, they are from time to time they are leaving out some news that CBI has approached this and this. And like in Jia Khan's case, they let out in news that CBI has approached to, further investigate, retrieve the BlackBerry information and data and her dupatta, which she hung or with which she was found hanging from the fan. But then nothing happened. the judge, the court conveniently denied permission to grant, denied permission for further investigation. Strangely, even when they are not able to solve the case, even when they are not able to come to a logical conclusion to Jia Khan case, how I don't understand what was running in the judge's mind when he denied permission to examine further evidence. Okay, so what do I say? I mean, I don't understand how can a country run this way. What are our lawmakers doing? What is this?
Yeah. So I mean, like for example, the Sushant case was really these are high profile people, you know. A high profile people or person can't even voice out when they want to bring
Yes,
out the truth.
I will
Can
just
you
read
believe
those.
that? Yeah.
I will read those slides. You will understand
Okay.
that
Okay.
all that glitter we see, it's not actually the glitter. There's a lot of other stories behind it, other truth behind it. I have selected a few drives which I've already read, but these drives will make people more aware of why these
Yep.
drives are so important, and this could have cracked the case if CBI had taken it and gone through the information and all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Bachanji, before I start reading, there are some 10 slides that I will read today. Before
Okay.
I start reading, if anyone has any questions, I will just like to, if you have any questions, I don't want to make it a live session, it will take time. So if you have
Yeah.
any
Can I?
questions,
No, I think probably you can start with the slides now.
okay. Okay. So I'll start reading these slides. Of course, one other question that the viewers have been asking me is that if there's a time mentioned when these slides were written, when each slide was written, it can be found out. It can be found out from the timestamp, but see, me and my team, our resources are also limited, and we are being financially harassed as well. So I mean, for these, the server space, I mean, these resources do cost a lot. So if the CBI validates, if it wants that information, we can find that out as well. So right now, with our limited resources, we are not going too deep into it. We are just sharing whatever he has documented, because that was what he wanted. I believe that's his last wish, unfortunately. So I will read the slides. Just after that, we can just
Yep.
try to find out why is this information being ignored by the agencies.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's revisit this, viewers, because we need to bring this up again so that you'll be aware that certain things shouldn't be forgotten. So let's
Okay.
listen to it again. Yeah.
All right. Before I start speaking in detail on this chapter, one thing I need to make a mention here is about late Bollywood actress Sri Devi ji and her efforts in trying to expose these people, and how much pain she had to undergo in this process. This story of a warrior who was let down by her own people will be standing example of how people suffer when they don't find solace in their near and dear ones. Shame on our society that people, those who are truthful, are always tortured. If you are a commoner, then both the authority and your family. If you are a celebrity and a public figure, then your family. The things that I am going to disclose in the slides to follow might shake your belief system, but trust me, this is the hard reality. The things that I'm going to I'm sorry, I repeated that. Okay. The things that I'm going to disclose in the slides to follow might shake your belief system. But trust me, this is the hard reality. This can answer a lot of questions around so many assumptions that are made around the life of certain real stars, who were not just on screen stars, but were the real role models off screen too, which a lot of youngsters can look up to. When I started this journey, I used to see Sri Devi ji in some places and think, is this the real face of this woman who is so graceful and she is involved in all this? But thank God, I was proven wrong. She was also fighting a war against these people. She too was trying to find for ways how to get to the roots of this syndicate, how to stop this cabal from doing what they were. And she was one strong warrior who has always who was always having the right intention. I would clearly like to mention here right intention because initially I had confusion, but later as the research progressed, I got to know from one very trusted source who helped me a lot as well that she was doing this for her daughters. She had informed the agencies about her husband too, but when he came out clean and cried to mend his ways, she went silent on him, but decided to expose the others. And that is the real Sri Devi for you. The mom who wanted not just her daughters, but wanted everyone safe, but gave a chance to her husband because, in her own words, she told this source, if Bonnie comes out clean in front of me, this can be fought much better. And if one person has to be excused for the change he can go through, and if that change can do good to the society, is that not a small price we pay? These were exact words to me, was what I heard that trusted source tell me. I was perplexed to hear this and the respect me and Jay had for Sridevi ji grew countless folds that day. A woman who had taken a break from everything comes back into the hang of things and throws all caution to winds. Why? Just because she feels it's her social responsibility to stay true to herself and the nation. This was the quality of Sridevi. I so wanted to connect to her, but unfortunately she was put to rest on 24th of February 2018. I was shattered, and I have mentioned about the Producers Guild meeting that was held in detail. I decided we need to continue from where Sridevi ji stopped, and in that attempt to get some answers to my questions, I tried to meet a lot of people. No one actually was even interested to talk about it apart from three people. Let me go ahead with one of these people's version first, which answered a lot of my confusions and questions as well before I get to the rest. And from there, I leave it on to you. The reason why I didn't come out in the front of the people or on social media. In the words of this trusted source, when I asked about Sridevi, when Sridevi wanted to come out in the open and tell all this to the public, three things happened. And these three things shook her to the core. And she dropped the idea when she was discussing it out to Bonnie about this. He told her not to cross her limits. And when she didn't listen to it, and that's when the emotional game started from Bonnie. I can now call it an emotional game because I know it for a fact that Bonnie is involved in Sridevi's death. Sridevi didn't give in to the emotional game and then the real dirty game wherein she was blackmailed and told that if she goes out in the media, she can go. But then she would be prepared to spend the rest of her life in the mental hospital. Because if she goes ahead to expose these people and say anything about what she knew about them to anyone, then they will use all their strength to prove her as a mentally unstable person who is assuming and hallucinating into believing things that her brain wants to show her, which has no connections to reality. Sri didn't, Sri didn't break down then. Bonnie took the help from authority. I remember Chauhan going home and trying to tell Sri to keep quiet. And when he was home, Bonnie sent all outside. Loud sounds were heard, and I'm not sure who manhandled her. And later, Bonnie told his daughters that their mom has lost her mind and we need to be careful about her. And yes, this should be within us as this is a family matter. Apparently, his daughters got played, but then what happened to Sri Deviji? That her phone was taken into Bonnie's control. And not just this, even her social media accounts, Bonnie took total control on it. And yes, She was left into isolation. Sridevi never told her daughters anything about this. But I am not sure if Janvi knew this in bits and pieces. But Sridevi was a fighter. But she was put to rest. And today, when I look back, the only thing that she wanted to speak the truth, and everyone around her made sure she went into isolation and couldn't do anything, and everything, literally everything which could get her connected to society, was in the control of Boni. And this is why I feel she could never open up to the world. This is one thing which stopped her from coming out in the open. After I heard this, the first person who struck in my mind is Ria. And this is where my eyes opened. And I could connect and see through a lot of things which was done to me, which this source explained. I could connect to so many things which Ria and Ankita did to me. This girl did a lot to me, and it is because of her a lot different angles opened up in front of my eyes. So the biggest answer which kept running me for such long, the answer is as simple as this. The analysis where I explained how these people take control of your personal life. If it goes out of control, then they can hijack your personal space too. I feel so rogue and angry on this. After getting answers from this trusted source, one thought instantly struck my mind. That was the connections I could make on how the missing angle in my life are now seeming to be the replay of what happened in Sridevi ji's life. Let me go at it stepwise so that you exactly get an idea what is running in my mind. 1. Sandeep taking a break. Sandeep Singh, who was always behind me, like a magnet, takes a break, and this makes me a little open. That gets the entry of Shruti and others. 2. Shovik behaving weird. When this man starts behaving weird, I am confused and ask Riya what do she tell. She tells me something and makes me go silent. Till date, I was confused about it. Now the picture is totally clear. 3. Sandeep Nahar's backlash. Sandeep coming hard on me and asking me to use my intellect. Now I see the entire thing and can read through his anger as to what it meant. Why was I entertaining Shruti on Riya's words? What is it that this female is back again? He asked me so many questions. I was confused why was this man wild at me. Now after meeting this trusted source, it's clear what is the thing, and now I see what was the intent. What was the intent? 4. Ria changing all my stuff. I thought this was needed. Now I see this as how Boni Kapoor did to Sridevi ji. 5. Siddharth poisoning my mind. Yes, this person who was always like a tail feeding me on nonsense and trying to patch up for Ankit. You did this to him, you did that to him, and look what he has done. When I asked what, I was not given a proper answer, and I was made to believe letting him go was the best option. And I did the same. But now, when things unfolded in front of me today, when I spoke to this trusted source, I still am in confusion whom to believe, whom not to. But I will myself find my answers soon. So there is nothing much I can do about it now, but soon I will find out on all these angles. 6. Ria taking me to Mahesh Bhatt. Now, this the biggest question why she did this, and yes, the hidden agenda behind it. And that one meeting after which I was told they never got back. Mahesh Bhatt and his contacts he shared never got back. But yes, I am still hoping something comes out from here, just to give them the impression that the game they are playing, I am being played for. For me, it becomes even the more important now to have a right set of team, which none of these people who are with me now will be knowing. And I shall ensure I will not give complete information to anyone, but only some very select people from now on. And this shall be done just to see who will be with me and who will not. Now, whom to pick, whom not to, is the biggest question I have in my mind. After what I heard from this trusted source, the prime people who are creating even the more problem for me are this Ria family, Siddharth Sandeep Singh vanishing. Let's keep it pending for some time now. And yes, the biggest thing I need to mention over here is what Disha told me today. The flights Ria and her brother were taking and the money which is vanishing from account, all this is used by Ria and Shovik for some things which is related to this drugs and this underworld. They are soon going to invest into something which will give them the monopoly of an area. And that's when she will be making double the money she is doing now. This is what I have gotten to hear. I'm not sure how true it is. I too was confused then. I had to call Siddharth to ask him this about the money. He says Ria's transactions were never suspicious. I asked Disha to wait and continue doing it even the more silently now. Because some faces are coming out and we need to be a little more careful now. In order to proceed with the actions we intend to take, this was a shocker for me. But the talk I had with this trusted source gave me the idea that something similar was in store. I decided to stage a drama in front of Ria to see what her intentions were so that I can get clarity on what I need to do and what I need to not. Because this female, now if I go back and think, has introduced me to so many people who, if I see back on now, are actually good for nothing and are here only to mess my thought process up. And if these people they can get me into depression by doing all this, hell no. Depression is too small word when you have trust in your God and yourself, and me getting into depression will never happen because I actually know what I need to be doing and what I need to not. And in order to stay strong, the biggest mantra for it is I have a God and a Father, but no Godfather. And the people who look up to me, my fans, my audience, when the time will come, when I keep this in front of them, they will definitely roar for me. And that's the confidence that keeps me going because when you don't have someone's hand on your head, you don't need to be worried about anyone else because you have God's hand on your head. And this is how I have grown. This is what my mother taught me since I was a kid. And this will always remain with me as the most cherished lesson in my life. And rest whatever grooms around it, I am ready for it. And with my team, I shall do it no matter what comes in the way. I will stand strong, and if needed, I will stand alone. Enough of these people messing up with the country and ruining us from the core as a society. Now it's our right, and we have to stand for it. Because if we don't raise our voice for what is right, then there is no point we cry for what we have not got. Because unless you do your karma, you cannot expect anything. And if you get anything without working for it, within the matter of time, it would be gone. So I decided to test some people and see where exactly this goes. Siddharth. I told him, I want to change the passwords of my bank account and some other changes to be made. He was shocked. He was like, is this really required? When things are all right and fine, why do you want to now change things? This can actually hamper the entire setup. Samuel. Don't inform Ria that I have changed my number again. Ria comes back in the evening and is furious on me. I just had doubts, now I am confirmed you are cheating on me. I never expected you to do this to me. I clearly told her to stop assuming and told her I just wanted to keep a check on how true Samuel Miranda is. And the woman, I know for a fact, acted as she believed me. You might think if I was getting hints these people were changing, why didn't I snap? Why didn't I expose them or maintain distance from them? Let me tell you, before you harbor that thought, I wanted to just act getting played into their hands because the informations I got from Mahesh Bhatt clearly showed him knowing a lot about Gulshan Kumar case. And if I get through with my plan, I can catch him with proper evidences in not just one, but two cases, Parveen Bhabhi and Jia Khan. And all these people are in some way or the other close to Ria, and these are the bunch of people who have been with me for some time now. So I will exclude them when needed and exactly know what they are up to and what they can do through their body language and the way they present themselves, getting new people on board and making them to understand things and taking work out will be another mountain task to do. Because what will happen is new set of people, different wavelengths and different working style to get synced in will take time, and I don't think this is needed. Anything that happens, take it with a pinch of salt. And I have my people, my team, whom I can trust on this. This team can do anything for me, so these people, let them be. Ria, this was another shock for me. But how do I put it across? Now I am actually falling short of words to write what emotions are running in my mind. Now, because the only thing that I want to mention here is that these guys are trying real hard to prove one of the two things. Either I am mentally insane or I am depressed and disturbed. Whatever they say or they propagate, I will get my facts right first before I waste time behind these people or fall for the trap these people have built around me. Falling for this trap is never the case because I am well aware what these people are up to and I have my precautions. But yes, I need to mention about I have got to know the true colors of Ria too. I started I started. Ria, if you remember, I had a small tiff with Anushka and Amir during the PK movie. And then when I was trying to understand what were this man's intentions, when he made that statement first that it's not safe to live in India, and his wife feels so, and later he retracted his statements. Even before I could finish, came the answer. And this is what exposed Ria. What that answer was, the next slide is totally dedicated to this. And this was my warning to keep things to myself. And if I want to succeed in this mission, I need to ensure these people don't get the slightest doubt about it. Her answer. Yes, I know you had a small tiff and then you lost your cool. You were actually wanting to know who were the people who visited him on the sets of the movie that day. And when in the evening that day he was speaking to Salman on a call and you were around, the color of his face totally changed. And yes, this is one of the main reasons these Khans got their eyes on you and you were told to stay away. The first statement issued was on orders to create a political unrest in India. That if a star is not feeling comfortable, how can we? Shah Rukh and Salman were to follow the trait. But then some adjustment had happened and he had to change his statements. But this man's connections with Turkey and some other Muslim nations became prominent to you. And you wanted to dig a little deeper. They wanted one reason to publicly target you. And hero movie of Suraj Pancholi became the reason. The actual reason for the fight which I had, neither did Salman had the guts, neither did my neither. I will read this again, Bachchanji. I will read this point again. There's some confusion.
Dipti ji,
Yeah.
can you hear me? Yeah. Before I continue, I'm going to ask you this. Dhruv is on the backstage. Do you want me to put him up or you want to continue the slides first?
Let me see how many are there. You can get him. I will just continue from here. If he has something urgent to say, I would also like to
Yeah,
connect
yeah.
to him. I
Yeah.
was not able to connect to him. Yeah.
Okay. You do a quick one and then you can continue the slides.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Dhruv ji, yes. Are you there? Dhruv ji, are you there? You've been waiting for a while actually, so I didn't want to interrupt you. So I was waiting for you to, take a break, or when you're pausing, I wanted to ask you whether you should put him up. Dhruv ji, are you there? Dhruv? Dhruv?
That's what's happening. His phone is not connecting. That's what is keeping me worried actually.
Okay. I'm sending him a private chat to see whether he's getting it or not.
How did
Dhruv ji.
he? Yeah, how did he contact you? I mean, like he
No,
came on the.
he came on the show. He's in backstage.
Hello, can you?
Then he
Okay.
asked, yes, he's there. Dhruv
Dhruv,
ji,
is that you? Hello. Hello.
yeah, I think he went off again. But he's still in my backstage. The thing is, when you started reading, he came, but I didn't want to interrupt, so I told you to wait for a while.
Okay, no problem. Let's continue. Let him be back.
Okay, okay,
Bachchan
sure.
ji. Yeah.
Okay, once he's
Okay.
back, I'll just put up my hand. Okay,
Sure.
okay, okay, sure.
Okay, so I mean, I hope this is not confusing here. I mean, after listening from this trusted source about what happened to Sridevi ji, he decided to check his own people around himself, because there were so many of his plans that were failing and that were not materializing. So something was going wrong here, and he was not able to find the answers. But after listening about what happened to Sridevi ji, how her own people had isolated from the world and everything, he then started seeing that maybe he too was being played with people around him, because Ria had changed her staff and Samuel Miranda and everyone all,
Yeah.
they had taken control of their life. Okay, so he decided to test each one of them. So to each
Okay.
one of them, he gave different statements to see what
Okay.
their reaction will be.
Okay.
I hope this was clear when I was reading,
Yes, yes.
Bachchanji.
Yeah, I'm listening too. In fact, I think the viewers would have been listening. Sushant basically knew what were his flatmates or whoever around him, what they are doing. He just like trying to,
Yeah, he was
create
trying to
not
find out
knowing
who is,
anything. Yeah,
yeah, who is honest and who is not, by giving them different statements and to see the
yeah,
reactions. So he has informed what he told to, I think, Siddharth. First he told
yeah,
to Siddharth, then Samuel, and then we were discussing about what he told to Ria
yes. The
about
smart
that.
part of him is he did not react. He just, quietly behaving accordingly so that they will not suspect too.
No, if he had reacted, if he was the kind of person who would have reacted to situations, Bachchanji, he would have not come this far. He would
Yes,
have
correct,
not have been able to, do so much research and then secure it so beautifully.
correct, correct. Yeah,
So,
Dhruv.
Hello,
yeah, Dhruva, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, where did you vanish, man?
I did not vanish. I just went for some, what do you say? See, that not is smile again. I went for something, some other work, like, what do you say? Increasing the most
The
important.
last we heard that
So,
you were picked up. You're picked up
picking
from
up and
someone.
up, it was a big, big story which is not to be told on social media. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I do
I
understand.
just,
But
just
you are
see, I
safe
just,
now, right? You are safe now, right? Do contact me after this show. There's a lot of
yes,
things that need to be
and now
discussed.
this is not required here, dear. I would have definitely contacted you offline. The only reason I came online is because one very important message had to be passed. Some people who had this very good habit of pointing out fingers at others have now started impersonifying the Prime Minister on their show. I will not raise fingers on anyone, or I will not guess what to say, put the pie in the muck or something like that. But these people who had enough problems with the others, like for example, calling people like Mollewale aunties, trying to like patch up with people from the back end and in the front act as if they are big saints or sadhus. I will not take names, but definitely if people are following the movement properly, will instantly connect. Rather, let me say it was on the world record, one of the great set of individuals who tried to achieve a world record for SSR but were not successful in the Guinness Book. And the teamwork is so beautiful that they have followers down south as well. Am I audible to everyone? There is pin drop noise.
No, there's a lot of static in your line, Dhruv. There's a lot of
Just give me
disturbance.
1 second, stay online, okay? Just 1 second.
Actually, I
Okay.
was reading. Yeah.
Dhruv ji, you have to make it short and sweet and quick. Then after that, probably can connect with Deepti ji after the show because he's reading the slides. I do not.
I just
Yeah.
need 2 minutes of time. I was actually done. I just need 2 minutes of time. The only reason I
Okay.
came on the live and I'm talking to you people is there are some people in this movement who probably try to find fault with other warriors. And now they have fallen down to a certain extent wherein they have started impersonifying the Prime Minister of the country, Narendra Modi ji. I hope and understand that everyone is knowing this. The reason why I'm telling this is whatever happened to me, forget, I should not be. I'll just give you a small hint. It was in a gap of 10 minutes for us to achieve something that this incident happened. And I do understand that not just Deepti ji, a couple of other people were also really tensed, and I apologize to all of them. I'm sure they're watching the show as well. But one thing, Bachchan ji, if most of you all remember, I was the first person to tell that Anil Deshmukh's PA's car was found out of Mount Blanc on 8th of June. So the same person is going to tell you today, very soon, something explosive was going to come out. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dhruva. It's a relief that you are safe. Do contact me after the show. Okay. Bachchanji, your voice is on mute.
Yeah. Oh. I say good to hear from you, Dhruvji. Thank you so much. Yes,
Yoga Raniji, I have already told about the date and page. If you kindly follow, if you had been following this from the beginning of the show, you will get your answer. Okay. Yeah. So we were discussing Ria, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll start from again. Okay. So
Okay.
Ria, this was another shock for me. But how do I put it across? Now I'm actually falling short of words to write what emotions are running in my mind now. Because the only thing that I want to mention here is that these guys are trying real hard to prove one of the two things. Either I am mentally insane or I am depressed and disturbed. Whatever they say or they propagate, I will get my facts right first before I waste my time behind these people or fall for the trap these people have built around me. Falling for this trap is never the case because I am well aware what these people are up to and I have my precautions. But yes, I need to mention about I have got to know the true colors of Ria too. I started. Ria, if you remember, I had a small tiff with Anushka and Amir during the PK movie. And then when I was trying to understand what are this man's intentions, when he made that statement first that it's not safe to live in India, and his wife feels so, and later retracted his statements, even before I could finish came the answer. And this is what exposed Ria. What that answer was, the next slide is totally dedicated to this. And this was my warning to keep things to myself. And if I want to succeed in this mission, I need to ensure these people don't get the slightest doubt about it. Her answer. Yes, I know you had a small tiff and then you lost your cool. You were actually wanting to know who were the people who visited him on the sets of the movie that day. And when in the evening that day, he was speaking to Salman on a call and you were around, the color of his face totally changed. And yes, this is one of the main reasons these Khans got their eyes on you. And you were told to stay away. The first statement issued was on the orders to create a political unrest in India. That if a star is not feeling comfortable, how can we? Shah Rukh and Salman were to follow the trait. But then some adjustment had happened and he had to change his statements. But this man's connections with Turkey and some other Muslim nations became prominent to you, and you wanted to dig a little deeper. They wanted one reason to publicly target you, and hero movie of Suraj Pancholi became the reason. The actual reason for the fight, which I had, neither did Salman had the guts, neither did any other of these Khans, because these very well knew that I had evidences against them. And it's just that I'm waiting for some more things to be added so that I can come out totally in the open. Not back then in 2015. I am talking about now, the recent past, 2018 onwards. And the entry of Sara and Saif into this through Kedarnath, the entire thing, me getting connected to her through YRF, Aditya Chopra, and then the entire game. Why was she trying to impress me? And this coming out of her mouth without me telling, I can vouch for it. That this girl, I never opened my mouth about this, And apart from Asif Bhai and Sandeep, no one knew about this too. Asif Bhai and Sandeep hated this female. They would never open up. Then how did this girl know all this? Was Salman so stupid, or was Amir, or were the Chopras stupid to tell this to her without having to do anything with her? This cleared all my doubts. That whatever my plans were going out, and whatever were the problems I was facing, whenever I was to achieve something concrete, was going out through this path. This information that the fight we had was all due to the fact that this Suraj wanted to come and make me see sense, and also tell me that I will not be able to do anything much because everyone worked hand in glove with them. I am so mad at myself. This woman all the while was with me and played a lot with my emotions and made sure that I was always doubting other people just because she had doubts on them. It was not she had doubts. It was not that she had doubts on them. It's just because that these people were trying to help me. And this woman knew the exact stage where I was, what I was about to do, and what were my counter plans. So, to create the confusion and to see how this would work out, I just wanted to try a game. I told her, I am having some serious things to do tomorrow, and what I am going to do tomorrow will expose Salman Khan and his connections in the Jia Khan case and the Pancholis. How could he save them? And also who helped him out in his work. I am going to meet someone now, and once I am back, I need to arrange a conference for me so that I can at least start now to keep things out in front of the public. You know, right, how much we have suffered around this? Let's put an end to all our sufferings. This will be the beginning of the downfall of these people, and that would mean we are successful in our mission. The only mistake I feel that happened here was she saw Disha calling me in front of her. I just blasted out to her that how many times do I tell you? Don't disturb me when I am disconnecting the call. I'm not quite sure how well this answer of mine stuck, because what happened was as soon as this news was out onto her, she literally started sweating and just rushed out of the room to try and take stock of the situation. I followed her. She was furious and was looking totally lost and shocked. When she saw me right behind her, the phone which was on the ear came abruptly down. And she was like, "You need something?" I was like, you were sitting and you walked out of the room when our discussion was going on. All well? She told me yes and came close to me and gave me a big hug. She might have thought I am an idiot and cannot make out, but I was clearly sensing that this hug was not out of love, but just to make sure that if I have seen her mannerisms and asked her for her phone, why did she drop the call? When I just entered right behind her, she played this to perfection to give me a hug and to delete the last call and make a dummy one. But the one thing she forgot was when you hug someone, your elbow and arm touches the back of the person whom you are hugging. I got my answers. I just acted indifferent and carried on. But now I was sure that this girl was never on my side. She was just a plant in my life to know what kind of actions I am going to take and how I could be stopped. Things were pretty clear to me that this is why I was failing. This is why we all were messing up with so many things, which could be handled better. But thank God, now I was crystal clear what was my path ahead, and I was very sure how I should play my game further. This was an eye opener for me, but from here my gut started telling me that I have unknowingly pulled Disha in this too. I have to do something now which will take all doubts away from her, because she is one girl who boldly had the guts to tell it on my face that I am with you. And I can give you all the connections between Salman Khan and various other actors because I was Aishwarya Rai's manager. And my tenure with her has shown me a lot of dirty places. My mind began to think, if Ria is plant in my life, can Rohan be a plant in hers? But again, I might be assuming, but I need to be prepared and I have to start working on this angle. Now that I know why was this girl poking her nose into everything. And as I had expected, my phone rings. And I get a call from Mahesh Bhatt. telling me that he wants to talk to me about Jia Khan's death. And as I had death, and how his name was framed into this incident. And he has proof of his innocence and he wants to meet up. I did not know what to do at that moment because till now I was under the impression that the enemy is outside the house. But this incident made me realize that there are enemies inside the house too. And this is one big concern we need to address very, very soon. Because now the mission I was doing, according to me, stands half exposed. And I need to be very, very careful with every step I take. Because these steps can make or break the thing we are doing now. What is most important is that I need to make sure that I have to first work out every situation in my mind and then react to the situation on hand. And this is how any result is possible. But today I got to know that the real key to all these situations these people create is family. And if you want to fight this war and win it, then you need to keep the family away. Once all this is over and I expose these people, I will get back to my family and apologize to them for all that I did and explain it to them that for me, my strength lied in you. And if I had one option to look back upon someone when I am totally lost, it would be as follows. Jay, Baba, Nahar, Asif Bhai, my fans. And when nothing works out and I am out of options, I am sure my family will stand with me. I know for sure it will not go that deep, but I have to be prepared for everything. Now, the girl who got close to me with a cause is a plant. Anything is possible. I wish I never left my father's dream and completed my course and never came here. It is said one mistake, learn from it. Second mistake, analyze it. I have already done two major mistakes and I am proud of mistakes. Because today, while writing this, I am learning from it and this shall look silly to you. But if there is any shortcut to success, then the simplest shortcut is learn from others' mistakes. I just had one interaction with one person who shall be my role model, forever. Sri Devi ji, and her only hint to me was learn from my mistakes. I wish I didn't listen to anyone and went on the path of my dreams. But I am not having any bad life now. Either it's just that some instances make you or break you, but it is up to you to take every single second as a lifetime and live around it. And I am doing exactly that now. Just make sure that no one knows what is running in my mind and answer everyone when the right time comes. And what is the right time? This will tell you the story. This call from Mahesh Bhatt I then discussed with Nahar, and it was decided that I should go. But this time, when I go, I should make sure that I am well guarded. Well guarded because now that I have started going a little more deep into things, and if my calculations are not wrong, touch the right nerve, these people will try and do something where either I will be defamed heavily or I will have to face some kind of music. This was always running in my mind. When everything became crystal clear, I get a call from Uday, the Kwan guy, telling me that there is a meeting he needs me to attend. When I ask him what meeting, he says I have to meet Salman and some other people. This came as another surprise to me, which I had least expected. What I did was I just wanted to find out how deeply was this rooted. I directly called Mahesh Bhatt, and the answer what I get shows that when the panic button is pressed, a man often does mistakes, which is unknown to him. And this answer gave me my answers as to how important it is to not take any decision when your mind is asking questions. The man forgot the mask he was wearing and told me that yes, he is aware of this and it is him who has set up the meeting. Just imagine, a man calls me to say that he has evidences on Jia Khan's murder and how he was framed into it, and who is he making me meet? The man who made sure he used his contacts in the CBI and made sure that the investigation on the death of Jia Khan got derailed and made sure that the entire thing was almost put to rest. This was one small attempt to show how deep is this. But the one thing it clearly told was all these people are one. and are scared to the core. It's just that they show they are the biggest hooligans. But deep inside, if there even the slightest of the hints that what were doing is going to come out, then the entire team shakes into fear and does these mistakes. And then the meeting happened, and the biggest haunt that tortured me to the core.
Actually, I expected this that I might lose her, especially when she's reading this kind of information on the video. Um, Hello, Meenakshi. Okay, she have been sharing quite a bit of things. The slide that she just read, I thought probably I just discuss a little bit about it before she comes back online. Okay, I think she's here. Okay, let's put her back. Yes, I expected this to happen at DPG.
I got thrown out.
Yeah, I knew it's coming here.
Okay, fine. So let me continue. We will finish soon.
Okay.
Okay. And then the meeting happened, and the biggest haunt that tortured me to the core, the Me Too allegations which were put on me, which I tried my best to say I had no involvement in, which people actually did not want to believe, which did everything out in the media, but never changed the mutual respect I had for Sanjana and she had for me. Today I lost it totally. Lost it when I was on my way doing my things, which I was doing not for me. I just was wild at myself. What has all this got me? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But this thing that came on to me made me even the more stronger. It made me realize that what I have gone through, I should make sure no one else does. And my resolve grew 100 times more. And I was just listening to all that was happening around me when the manhandling started. And I had to do some counteractions in self defense. I got to know one thing that day is that till these people really want you down, they can actually make you get hurt. But these wounds won't be seen to the naked eye. But the thing here is that I was just warned after this that this is the trailer and the picture will soon start if I don't stop. This meeting was attended by Dino Bhai, Salman Khan, Aditya Pancholi, Uday, Shera, Imtiaz, and some people who I was unaware of. And when the meeting just got over and the threat that I was given was over and I was walking out, entered Mahesh Bhatt. He was like, I'm sorry I got held up elsewhere. I told him, let me go. Now I will get connected to you later. I really don't care if he gets connected to me later or not, but I was really worried about what should my next course of action should be. Is it time that I involve the family? But this Me Too truth that came out today, I think I will be risking my family too. If I get them involved, and I have to keep them away, and I will make sure I will keep them away till I reach the end of my journey and expose all these people. I went home, but the pain only started getting more and more intense. I needed hospitalization, but my sisters were to come to meet me. I had to stay back home because if I visit the hospital before they came to meet me, then they will definitely get involved, and this can mean threat to them. But I need to make them aware too, so that they can at least be ready to face some backlash today. I decided that whatever happens, I will never ever bother to give a damn to what is printed, said, or spoken about me in the media. And when my sister did come to meet me with a stone on my heart, I misbehaved with them and went and got admitted. When I was discharged, I got to know from Disha and Nahar that my father had tried to contact Siddharth and some other staffs of ours, and they told him it seems I was not interested to meet him. Glad they did that, but I never was told when I was in the hospital that my father had called. But how the things unfolded when I was in the hospital, probably if I was told in the hospital that my father had called, I would have maybe not wanted to speak to him either. Because if I open up in front of my family that this is what I am going through, then there will be chaos everywhere. I had to discuss our path ahead. So I decided I need to go back into myself and see and judge this girl for all the actions she did when we were in Europe too. She was trying to demoralize me. And now, when I go back and see the photographs of our Europe trip, I do seem to have the look of a depressed individual on my face. But for now, I don't care what I know about myself and what I am, I can vouch for it that I am not depressed and I am too strong for these people to put me down, at least on these grounds. And I will fight back and fight back hard. My Euro trip, I have explained about it. I don't think that is needed to be revisited now. But yes, what is most important is that I had to make mention of this is because during the entire course of this Europe trip, one thing I now recollect is that this woman was regularly in touch with her father. And when I got the call records and checked it, now it was never her father at all. She was in touch with someone else. The numbers though were not in the names of those people, but the pattern of calls and the times these calls were made, if I had to analyze and do give my analysis out here, these calls were made to Shera, Mahesh Bhatt, Sara Ali Khan, Deepika Padukone, Jay Saha, and Imtiaz. She had even made calls to Siddharth too. And for me, she was always telling it's her father. It's her father. Whatever is the thing, I am glad that she lied to me and lucky that I never shared any proof of a single document I have collected so far to her because I wanted to protect her too, like I wanted to protect my family. Now onwards, I will use this woman against their own people and give her the information only which I want her bosses to know. These people think they can pull me down. Let me show them that when an engineer's brain starts to work, there is no brain on this earth that can match the frequency. And now a lot more pictures that did not sound sense to me started sounding sense. And the one thing I can vouch for is that if I am put to rest, it will be one of these people who will be involved, and maybe all of them too. But before that happens, I need to make sure I leave behind something which will make life hell for these people. As these people need to be taught a lesson, and as our scriptures say, that every time before a dharm yudh starts, a noble soul is given a sacrifice, is given as sacrifice. I am ready to pay the price for it, but I will not die a coward's death. I will fight till my last breath because for them to kill me, they need to have that one opportunity. And for me to save myself, I have God behind me to save me. And I cannot stop, despite getting to know it very clearly by now that the path ahead is very, very dangerous. I cannot step back or stop because I am on the verge of getting to the bottom, and if I quit now, these people will only get stronger. It's just that a little more it's just that a little more pain I have to go through. And I am very much ready because I personally believe that today's pain is the only medicine that will make you stronger tomorrow. And there is no pain or problem on the face of this earth that can hurt my confidence or my intent to finish this. I have started this, and I am sure I will get to the roots of it and make sure I give it a proper closure if I am alive and kicking. That's it, Bachchanji. I hope I was clear.
Yeah. Very clear. Very clear. In fact, a lot
Okay.
of names have been mentioned. When you read the slides, I believe he's already been half exposed by the time he knew that people around him, especially Ria, were actually revealing a lot of things that he have been doing. And I believe he must have the slides that you read must be just about. I think. Okay, just analyzing. It could be about 2 or 3 months before his death because I think he's already nearing the stage where a lot of people knew
Yeah,
what
because
he's
he,
doing.
huh, I think, yeah. So we
Yeah.
can find out the date, but yeah, it will take time. So right now,
Yeah, from the
I
content I thought that
yeah, we
he's
can make
already
out it.
doing that.
It's very
Yeah,
recent. It's very recent actually.
yeah. Recent just
It's when
before his death. Yeah,
it's when the Me Too allegations were
yeah,
floated in.
correct. And he already knew that what is
And that
coming up for
hospital
him. Yeah.
and that hospitalization, it was
Mm-hmm.
in the media. It was reported that it was due to dengue. I think it was during this time.
Okay. 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 So yeah, he tried very much for family not to get involved because he don't want them to get into trouble. But the part that he was sharing about his Euro trip, which is true, I mean, what is written here, because they were telling that, when she was, I mean, the girlfriend was saying that, he was depressed in the Europe trip. So it's written exactly what it is, that she's making him look depressed and demoralizing her. There's quite a bit of name that you revealed, whom she's in touch with.
So what more evidence do they need?
Yes. Yeah.
Firstly, the photographs itself speak. Whatever photographs of Sushant's, they clearly show that he was manhandled. There was some fight. Okay, and also that. See, I don't know what the agencies are doing. I also don't know how can people be okay with agencies not knowing that, or still. I really don't know. This is not
Yeah.
making sense actually.
Yeah. He have been, brutally killed. But
Yeah.
where it happened, I do not know whether it's in the rooftop or whether in a police
Yeah,
station or
I
whether
too
it's some.
don't know.
Yeah.
I too
Yeah.
don't know that. As of now,
Yes.
I too don't have any idea. I just know what is written in this drives.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So yeah, I mean, this when you're reading it, I was actually, he is right. It was a brave death he took
yeah,
upon himself, and he sacrificed, like we say,
and
for dharma.
and there's a lot of data actually. I've just covered some 35, 40% of it. Okay, of sharing them on the social media. Okay.
Okay.
So he has, done a lot of research in almost all the scams that have happened till now. Not only just Maharashtra or something. He has gone down south as well. So the information that he has unearthed, he has done the job of all the agencies, he and his team. Okay, and has brought everything to a logical conclusion as to why so many crimes were happening and why no one is ever caught. I mean, he has done a detailed research on that. Really hats off to him. In spite of the risk that was involved, he went ahead, and if I want more and more people to follow what he has, the information that he has given in his drives, which I'm sharing, every Indian needs to know it.
Yeah. Correct. Correct. A lot of things he have revealed. But as I said, those he must have started much longer before he
No,
was killed, right?
he started from 2018 onwards. That's
Yeah.
what he mentioned,
Correct.
right?
Correct. So which is gathering certain information, and I think he may have. I
And he
feel he
also
may have.
mentioned 2015. 2015, I think he was like just curious about Jia Khan's death because he was talking about 2015 Suraj Pancholi and all.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I
and
think
again,
initially he was disclosing with Ria before he knew what Ria is up to. It's only
she
after he knew. Yeah. Yeah. Because
after he came.
yes, yes. Do you remember they said on, I don't know this is true or not, I think few days before he was killed, they went to his house to take away his drives. And, there's some, I don't know, it's rumors or true that, Ria was telling him to erase all the drives or something like that. At that point of time, I can't remember what was the actual information. They tried to convince him to, delete the drives, and then he did not. He wanted to keep it, and then this group of people came in to take off all the drives, something like that. So it must be a situation that she is already revealing and passing the information to the relevant people what he's doing. So, which is why the reason why they're rushing to, get rid of it.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't
See,
know.
it's
I
very
mean,
much obvious that what has happened. Okay, he tried to see what the reactions would be after coming to know that someone whom he trusted, someone who knew everything about his plans. Okay,
yeah.
that very person was passing on the information, but that very person was a plant in his life. Okay, so
Yes.
he, threw caution to winds, and he just said that he was going to arrange a press conference the next day and expose Salman Khan and all, and
Yeah.
that let the hell loose on him.
Yes. 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 If only the girlfriend is not revealing anything, he could have managed to do a lot of things.
She was
Oh,
planted in
yeah.
his life. She was planted in his life to get
Yeah.
info on what he was doing and all. because she entered his life after he started his research work and all. So people came to know about it because, see, even when we are working, Bachanji, I mean, a lot of my team members, some of them have are no more there, and some of them have, our most trusted ones have betrayed us. Okay. So it happens. So these people, this cabal, they play a lot of mind games. They play all sorts of games. They infiltrate your network, your circle of people, and try to get it. So there are a lot of games they play, harass, and if they want to harass you, they know everything about you more than your best friend. Don't know everything about your schedule and all. So yeah.
The enemy is just very close to him. There's one part that he mentioned about that he regretted that Disha was actually pulled into it, that Ria knew about her, and he also raised one point that was, he had a doubt that was Rohan planted in his life too. Yeah, which I don't know. I'm just analyzing. I'm not saying anything which is true or not, but I mean, he's alive and around, and Disha Salen was actually killed the night that he was there in the apartment too. But he's not opening the mouth and not saying anything. So whatever that Sushant
Yeah,
is
he
being
got
the slides,
Zomato.
yeah,
He got to
yes,
feature in Zomato. He might get many more projects as well. We never know, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So Bachanji, I think I should be
Okay,
going now
yeah,
because
yes,
I
yes.
need to check on Dhruva as well. It's really surprised that he came on your show, officer.
Yeah,
When we
yeah.
have been,
I think certain information you don't want to disclose on social media, so probably can actually speak to
yeah.
him
So
privately. Yeah,
okay, sure.
but
I'll get back.
but thanks for coming on the show and sharing these particular slides. It's actually a good revisiting to to share what have been happening and what Sushant was trying to. Basically, Sushant is not an idiot. He knew what is happening around him. That's the point. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ji. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
Bachanji, I
Thank you,
got
Ji.
to go now. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I would
Okay.
love to come on your show more often, but time doesn't work with me. I'm so sorry for that.
It's okay, Ji.
Okay.
I mean, you coming even once in a while is a big deal for me. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Good night
Good
to all
night.
you guys. Bye.
Good night. Okay, viewers. Yes. Yes. Though whoever actually sent the messages, like Mitraji, Chandralega, Meenakshi, Purnima Rao. Purnima, I like your name actually. Dave Construction. Yes, money talks. When you have the money, you can do whatever you want. But there's such thing called karma. Michelle, thank you so much. Yograni, you were asking when is what is the reading date and the page of the slides. She actually mentioned in the beginning of the video, so maybe you want to rewind and go back there. And hi, Raji, and all those who Deepa, uh, Purnima Devi. Oh, there's Purnima Rao and there's Purnima Devi. Okay. Yes, all the others actually joined the show and all those who actually, Jasmine Modi, thank you for your messages. Mano Rajesh, Vanakkam. Cheeta Sangari, thank you so much. Yes, thank you everyone for joining me and viewing this video. Meet you again. Have a for me it's like nighttime. Some of you all is actually it's already midnight here. So yes, I'm going to bed now. Good night to everyone and thank you for joining. Bye bye.